The old capital lay in ruins under a shallow bay, its blackened marble half buried and stitched with seagrass. In the center, a circular plaza of ruins survived the fire and became the town's meeting ground, glowing at dusk when lanternfish traced the carved lines. Neighbors treated the summoning circle as sacred because it endured when everything else fell. It worked as both a reminder and a stage, which meant it drew festivals and, sometimes, trouble. Anna Banana said the circle kept the town together. Kirby said a stage like that always pulled a crowd, for better or worse. Anna Banana patrolled the rim with nimble flips, her carnation-pink fur bright, sunflower yellow snorkel tucked behind her ear flippers, and a tiny anchor tattoo she tapped when thinking. Kirby glided beside her, neon swim goggles on his forehead, a heart-shaped nose, and a teal and white racing stripe belly band that made him look fast. Jade followed steady and quiet, sea glass green eyes, braided seaweed headband, and a pearly shell pendant she stroked out of habit. The notch in her left flipper a small scar from an old rescue. They moved like a team, even when they pretended not to. Anna Banana said patrols needed flair. Jade said patrols needed focus, and Kirby muttered that both were easier before crowds. They had claimed volunteer warden duty after too many festivals spun out of control. Anna Banana argued that capes should be mandatory so heroes could be seen, then twirled a test cape to make her point. Kirby countered that capes should be banned because they snagged on Carl and turned rescues into tangles, making sure Jade heard every word. Jade kept peace with a sigh and said not every dispute had to be a duel, but their quiet rivalry threaded through every choice. Anna Banana said visibility saved time. Kirby said clean lines saved lives. Trouble arrived on wheat-colored legs. Chad, E-Money, and Brandy Sue, lobsters who wore authority-like armor and ran the recreation and readiness board. Chad sported a clamshell visor cocked sideways, a claw-mounted whistle, and a boombox slung across his carapace with a flashy sticker. E-Money drifted behind mirrored sunglasses and a heavy gold chain shaped into letters, glitter flecks twinkling on his shell. Brandy Sue flaunted a bedazzled sash, a metronome clip to an antenna, sparkly claw tips, and a foam finger wagging on beat. Chad said the board had arrived to bring order. E-Money added that they were here to upgrade the town's rhythm. They announced their motivation in unison: order through rhythm. Chad said teaching everyone the Dougie would keep panic from ruining the town again. E-Money claimed a community on the same beat would rebuild faster than it burned, calling it empathy, while practicing control. Brandy Sue promised even the currents would respect a unified count and glared at anyone who rolled their eyes. Anna Banana said the circle was not a drill floor. Brandy Sue said the count had already begun. Their plan was simple and dangerous. They would arm the whole community with slingshots loaded with felt balls, arrange dancers in concentric rings inside the summoning circle, and on each metronome tick, everyone would snap on cue. The pitch sounded clever until you pictured 1,000 projectiles flying where children learned to swim, and elders swapped stories. Consequences were easy to imagine: chipped coral, bruised fins, and a habit of obeying whoever held the boombox. Kirby said choreography and slingshots were a reckless mix. Jade said the circle was for gathering, not target practice. During the first demo, Anna Banana stepped forward and draped a test cape across a rune like a stop flag, saying the circle belonged to everyone, not to a weaponized dance. Chad laughed into his whistle and blew a stuttering beat to drown her out. Kirby added that slingshots and choreography did not mix, and Brandy Sue lifted her foam finger to block him from the front row. The air felt thick with pressure and sound. Anna Banana said the runes were not props. Chad said the beat would decide. Flyers for the Quilt of Remembrance contest fluttered up around the plaza, and a whisper turned into a rumor: quilt espionage. Someone had been swapping bobbins, sneaking peeks at secret patterns, and leaving fish-scale glitter behind. While Anna Banana tried to negotiate, an urchin tugged her flipper and said a square of her cape fabric had vanished, then giggled that maybe spies liked capes too. The wardens traded worried looks. Anna Banana said nothing good hid behind glitter and missing cloth. That afternoon, 4 medium-gray gnats buzzed in, their bubble helmets sputtering tiny streams of air that made their voices squeak. Freddie said the Brineview High mascot costume, the smoky salamander chosen to honor the Capitol's fire, had gone missing. Morris stressed the parade needed it to bring the community together. Willie insisted they were not thieves, and Troy said their swarm could search tight crevices if the seals helped clear their names. Jade said they would listen. Kirby said proof would help everyone. The lobsters moved fast and seized a permit. Chad bragged that the board had approved town-wide slingshot distribution in the name of discipline and unity. E-Money set a supply crate by the summoning circle steps and handed out engraved number slingshots under glittering lights. Brandy Sue tapped her metronome and declared day one of the new beat, and the crowd clapped because it was loud and easy to join. Anna Banana said permits were not protection. E-Money said signatures were. Training day put the lobsters in charge. Rings of neighbors practiced the Dougie with felt balls and slings, the boombox thumping so hard the runes hummed. Children who wobbled got pelted with soft reminders, and elders backed away to save their spectacles. Anna Banana tried to deliver a safety briefing while Kirby measured distances to set up barriers, but Brandy Sue talked right over them. Jade said the circle sounded wrong. Brandy Sue said the count was all that mattered. The wardens tested a counter. Kirby said if they cut the beat, the drills would dissolve. Jade slipped behind the boombox and unplugged a cable while Anna Banana distracted Chad with cape talk. E-Money smirked and flipped to a hidden battery block. The boombox roared back, and Chad jabbed a claw like a coach diagram. Chalky hash marks scuffed across his carapace. The crowd cheered the comeback. Kirby said this would be harder than a yank on a cord. Anna Banana said then they needed a better plan. Fallout arrived fast. Parents told the wardens to stop being sticks in the kelp because the kids were finally excited, even if it snapped. Through a cracked window of a sunken pizzeria behind the circle, a human Italian pizza chef spun dough in a perfect arc, flour drifting like snow in his air pocket, oblivious to the underwater crowd. Meanwhile, Freddie and Morris whispered that the smoky salamander was last seen near the circle's storage vault and that a current had tugged it into a sealed side chamber. Willie said old keys were etched around the doorframe, and Troy said they could not get near it without the lobster's permit. Jade said the circle felt trapped under noise. Kirby said they needed leverage. Hopelessness settled on Jade like silt. She rubbed her shell pendant until its sheen dulled and said the town liked a simple beat more than a complicated lecture. The quilt rumor turned sharp when a contestant accused Anna Banana of borrowing the key pattern block for Cape Flare. The gnats hovered, buzzing with worry, while Kirby stared at the endless rings of dancers and felt momentum carrying the plan out of their hands. Jade said they needed a different angle. Anna Banana said she did not take the block. Frustration cracked their trio. Anna Banana said if capes were mandatory, they could have signaled faster and blocked the boombox with a dramatic sweep. Kirby shot back that if capes were banned, Jade would not have nearly snagged hers on a hook behind the speaker, pointing at a frayed edge. Jade snapped that arguing about capes, while slingshots multiplied, was like knitting during a lightning storm. The gnats buzzed in with new intel. Brandy Sue had hidden the smoky salamander cape in a locker marked with a tiny skull and planned to debut it as the Dougie mascot at the next drill. Anna Banana said that was a line crossed. Kirby said then they would cross it back. Quick interlude. If you're enjoying this undersea showdown, please like and subscribe to help these stories surface. Drop a comment with the word slop so we know you found the secret beat. Your support keeps the quilts unfurled and the circle safe. The gnats described what they overheard while the crowd watched drills. Freddie said Chad refused to go near the storage vault and clacked his claws 3 times and spit when anyone mentioned keys. Morris added that E-Money skirted lockers with key decals, and Willie said Brandy Sue avoided the key-etched arch like it was poison. Troy concluded that showing keys and breaking the beat would break their control. Anna Banana said the missing key pattern block could do more than win a ribbon. It could help win the circle back. Jade said superstition was the seam they needed to pull. They tackled the mascot mess first. Jade led them to the locker Brandy Sue had used and gently levered it open, revealing the smoky salamander headpiece smeared in glitter glue forming the word Dougie. Kirby documented the theft so the school would clear the gnats, and Anna Banana stitched a ripped seam with emergency thread right there. The gnats pledged to join the team after being believed, then swarmed a metronome in practice and desynchronized its click with a precise buzz. Jade said trust was their best tool. Kirby said the record would clear the swarm's name. They spoke their plan aloud so no one missed a stitch. Step 1, Jade said. Restore the mascot so the parade committee would back them and empty the circle for a fair confrontation. Step 2, Kirby said. Send the gnats to jam the beat and block the metronome while he cut the battery line again. Step 3, Anna Banana said. Flood the circle with key imagery and real keys to trigger the lobster's superstition, using the missing quilt block, borrowed key-printed fabric, and a ring from the school custodian. Step 4, Jade finished. Blanket the slingshot crates with quilts and present evidence to the board to strip the lobster's authority. Anna Banana said the stitches would hold. Kirby said the timing would, too. By twilight, everything moved. The school cheered as the smoky salamander returned, clearing the gnats' names and winning allies for the wardens. Quilt makers arrived smiling at the running joke-turned-mission, sliding key pattern quilts from totes and pinning them into long capes that could double as nets. The summing circle glowed while Anna Banana, Kirby, and Jade took positions at 3 points like stitches closing a seam. Anna Banana said this time the circle would speak. Jade said let the work be seen. Chad strutted onto the runes and bellowed that tonight was the grand Dougie finale. E-Money pumped the boombox volume and bragged that every fin would hold a slingshot by midnight. Brandy Sue called for the smoky salamander to hype the crowd, but froze as the real mascot paraded past with the school band and waved to the wardens. In the hush, Anna Banana said drills that treat neighbors like targets are not drills. They are rehearsals for hurt. Kirby said the finale had changed. E-Money sneered and ordered the beat, and the first felt balls snapped like rain. On cue, the gnats swarmed the metronome and boombox vents, buzzing a counter-tempo that scrambled rhythm. Kirby dove under the speaker and cut the battery cable again while Jade steadied his tail. In the gap, Anna Banana and the quilters unfurled key pattern quilts so big they turned the circle into a sea of keys. Anna Banana said break the beat. Jade said show the keys. Chad recoiled, claws played, stammering that keys were cursed and invited ruin, his whistle dropping with a bell-like clink. Brandy Sue shuffled back from the key-etched arch as the gnats knocked the metronome off count. E-Money backed away from a dangling ring of custodial keys, shouting for someone to hide the hexes. The crowd paused, seeing fear where they had been told to see leadership. Kirby said the spell was only in their heads. Anna Banana said people could choose differently. Anna Banana swung a key-embroidered cape in a wide, safe arc and Kirby grabbed the other end to keep it from snagging, finally nodding to its usefulness. Jade coordinated quilters to drop blankets over slingshot crates, muffling both projectiles and the boombox. Freddie and Morris looped the gold chain around the metronome knob, freezing it, while Willie and Troy jingled a ring of keys under Chad's visor. The Dougie collapsed into uncertain shuffles that turned into laughter. Kirby said okay, capes could help. Anna Banana said so could teamwork. With the beat broken and the lobsters cowering, the wardens addressed the crowd and laid out the permit misuse, the stolen mascot, and the danger of the plan. The recreation board, many of them quilters with keen eyes for pattern and proof, voted on the spot to revoke the slingshot program and remove Chad, E-Money, and Brandy Sue from power. The trio protested and tried to strut, but panic made them trip over their tails. The town escorted them to a holding net to await formal consequences. Anna Banana said the circle was for care, not control. Jade said the vote was the town's voice. Undoing the damage took time. Neighbors returned slingshots, and Kirby oversaw melting their bands into safety buoys for the swim school, explaining how each boy replaced a bruise. Quilt makers sewed key pattern quilts into capes with quick-release clips and banner straps, turning a joke into a uniform of care. The boombox, wrapped in a patchwork muffler, broadcast the safety schedule instead of a beat. Kirby said repairs should teach. Anna Banana said lessons should protect. The quilt espionage joke ended with a tidy punchline. The spies had been the lobsters' volunteers, peeking not for art, but to copy key patterns onto a list called Things to Avoid and prove a curse for staging. With truth out, quilters pinned a ribbon labeled Unauthorized Research onto a glittery scrap and told everyone to stop stealing stitches and start sharing. The winning quilt, a map of the old capital stitched with tiny keys and waterlines, hung over the circle for a week and later muffled the boombox during repairs. Jade said sharing made patterns stronger. Kirby said transparency kept hands honest. When the noise settled, the wardens faced their rivalry. Anna Banana admitted that capes felt like courage because they said, "Here I am. How can I help?" but agreed that safety clips and limits were wise. Kirby said he hated losing rescues to tangles, not capes, and he managed a small smile when Jay demonstrated a cape that broke away with a tug. They decided capes would be optional and smart, not mandatory and risky, and their competition shifted into a shared checklist. Anna Banana said agree on the rules, then lead by them. Jade said they finally matched pace. The town changed in visible ways. New rules banned weapons from the summoning circle and required 2 teams to approve any drill, 1 for fun and 1 for safety. Dougie lessons continued in the plaza with empty hands and open smiles, taught as a dance of welcome, not a march of command. The smoky salamander led the remembrance parade, the gnats buzzing proudly in the streamers, while the map quilt fluttered over the path like a promise. Anna Banana said the circle breathed again. Kirby said the beat felt human again. The community did not treat the lobsters gently. Chad, E-Money, and Brandy Surrey were stripped of their positions and assigned to repair the fire-damaged museum wings stone by stone under elder supervision. They also had to catalog the city's keys under the librarian's steady glare, forcing them to confront their superstition. Anna Banana, Kirby, and Jade hosted a keys or tools workshop on the circle, smiling when the gnats chimed a gentle bell to close the lesson, and the town moved forward stitched tighter than before. Jade said tools beat fears. Anna Banana said community beat control. All the slop in this video was generated using AI. This notice is for your information. Remember to like, subscribe, and comment the word slop to help more listeners find the story.